saw this yesterday. Ireland Baldwin. Well, I didn't even know who she was. She's the daughter of Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. What is she, like 30 years old, something like that?
Yeah.
They were together years and years ago. Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger.
Did she first come into the public consciousness because of that voicemail? Is that Ireland voicemail? Remember when her dad called her a disgusting little pig or something on her voicemail?
I bet that is
got
her.
leaked. I think that's Ireland.
I believe you're right, because I'm just reading she's 26, which means that was probably 13 years ago. And I remember she was 13 at the time, or, she was young, 12 or 13. Yes, and
caught in like a weird, I don't know if it was a custody war between the two parents.
Yeah.
And she wasn't answering Dad's calls when he would call.
And he called her a disgusting little pig and all that. He sounded terrible on that because he was on her voicemail doing that. Well, anyway, now she's grown up and she's dating, and she was asked, what is the worst thing someone has ever said to you while on a date? Or have you ever, had something said to you on a date you didn't like? And she said, oh, how much time do you have? And she started listing off all this.
Put that in your quiver of questions next time we have a celeb come through.
It's a good idea. When a celebrity is in, I'll say, what's the worst thing ever said to you on a date? Well, when Ireland Baldwin got that question, she said, I can just rattle off. And she rattled off 15 things. Some of them were terrible. But the worst one, perhaps, was the very first thing that she says here. We have a few of them.
You'll never be as beautiful as your mom. I've always wanted to her.
Now, can you imagine a guy saying that to a woman and Kim Basinger is her mom.
Yeah.
And so first she said, you'll never be as beautiful as your mom. Well, slap in the face. I've always wanted to do her.
I'm surprised a 26-year-old knows who Kim Basinger is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe
She's really not active right now.
Yeah, she hasn't been active in a while. She was.
But a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Had some bad moments, but a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yes. 100% right. She goes on.
Do you think you can get me a modeling contract? Do you think your dad will help me get into NYU? Do you think your dad would get me an audition for SNL? I'm really funny.
She's got to hate hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a 26-year-old would know who Alec Baldwin is because he's all over the place. Of course, now he's got
good and bad things.
Troubles of his own, yeah. But he's been on Saturday Night Live many times, of course. And
Didn't your dad kill somebody?
Okay. That would hurt.
Do you want to order apps or just to jump into that mains? We'll just order entrees.
Would you rather hear
Hi,
that?
you guys need a few minutes? This is date talk.
Yeah. This is on a date.
Yeah.
They ask her specifically, what are the worst comments you've ever heard on dates? And
we have some breadsticks, and can your dad get me on SNL?
Does your dad still play Words with Friends?
If you're her, would you rather hear, did your dad kill somebody? Or your mom is so hot,
she's
sure would like to do her. Tough call. It continues.
No beer. Beer makes you fat. Waiter? Yeah, I'm gonna have the BLT, and she's gonna have the arugula salad. Yeah.
She says she's body shamed like that. Guys will order for her, and they'll have whatever they want, but they think she's got to stay thin. And they'll say, like, no beer for you. It makes you fat. And there were some other really terrible things. Guys, we can be horrible, of course. She said it's difficult, dating, being this daughter of two very famous people.
What does she do?
I don't know.
I don't know that she's acted.
She's a model.
She is.
Okay. She's a model.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, if she's a model.
I'm sure she's lovely.
Yeah.
She's a
cute girl.
Attractive woman. She's
you'd be shaking, date her?
Yeah, I wouldn't ask her a thing about her dad.
You wouldn't ask those questions.
No, absolutely not. Maybe about the dad killing somebody. But
She's on TikTok, and she's an influencer on TikTok as well as being a model. And this was a TikTok question that she got. What's the worst thing you've ever heard? And she said, "Oh, sit back and let's hear them." And she did a bunch. This sounds like something we would do. Speaking of interviews and so forth. David Letterman is going to have Will Smith on his Netflix show.
Oh, I forgot he still did that.
I did too. I
guess the pandemic made it go away.
Well, no, because during the pandemic he would go to I watched his interview with Lizzo, and he went to her house during the height of the pandemic. So it was just the two of them chatting. And I saw him before the pandemic interview, like Obama, George Clooney. They had a bunch. They were okay. I liked him pretty well. And because I'm a Letterman fan. So his show is called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. And he does have Will Smith as a guest. But they taped it before the Oscars.
They already taped
They
before the
already
Oscars.
taped. So if I were him, and this is season 4, and it comes out in 2 weeks on Netflix. If I was Dave Letterman, I'd say, could you come back and give me another like
little
50,
postscript,
and even say we recorded most of this. Because I think if Letterman, and also if I were Netflix, I would put at the bottom of the screen, this was recorded before he slept.
We know.
Yeah. Yes.
No, he's not going to ask him about you know what.
He can't ask him about you know what because of what happened. It was before that.
Sorry.
He's going to his
when our prices are going up. What are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do? You're going to cancel Netflix? Although I just read they lost subscribers for the first time ever.
They didn't get as many as they were hoping for a quarter. I think that's what happened, right?
For the first time ever. Yeah. And their stock took a hit earlier this week. And of course, didn't they all? Okay, so, boy, bloodbath yesterday on Wall Street. Am I the only one?
Oh, my gosh.
I made it put in an emergency call to my money man, but he was in Bermuda, so I haven't talked to him yet.
Good thing you've got all that crypto.
Yeah. That's the most important thing. His other guests are Cardi B, Kevin Durant, Billie Eilish, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Ryan Reynolds. He gets pretty A-list names. He gets a lot of A-list names now because they like to talk to Letterman, of course. Big fight brewing right now. Who you got between Joan Jett and Ted Nugent? You're not in that demographic. You don't know them.
I'm
them.
aware of them.
You're
yes.
aware of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
What started it?
Here's what happened. Earlier this year, Rolling Stone magazine put out a list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Joan Jett placed number 87. Ted Nugent said, "Are you kidding me?" Nugent, he'll go out there and say what he thinks.
He's fearless.
Yeah. Nugent said, "You have to be soulless and have crap for brains." I'm paraphrasing now. To put Joan Jett on this list. He later said she doesn't belong on the list anywhere on planet Earth. Although both times he praised Joan. He said, she's a great rock and roll star. She's not a great guitarist. Now, he did say, I love Joan Jett. She's not a great guitarist. Well, she took offense to it, and she started coming back at him, saying, what does he know? He plays a tough guy. He's always speaking his mind. Same guy who crapped his pants, literally, so he didn't have to go into the Army. Is that true? Did he do that?
I don't remember if he played the crazy card or not.
Yeah, exactly. She says, Ted Nugent has to live with being Ted Nugent. He has to be in that body, so that punishment is enough. He's jealous that I'm on that list, and he's not. He came back and said, listen, Joan, I like you. We have his comments.
So I'm talking about the top 100 guitar player list on Rolling Stone magazine, and I mentioned that Joan Jett, I love Joan Jett. I mentioned how I love Joan Jett. I love her music. She's the real McCoy, down and dirty garage band. Joan, I love ya. I said nothing but nice things about her. I just said there's a lot of killer guitar players that are really killer guitar players, and Joan's just a good guitar player. She makes great music. So then she got wind of it and just viciously attacked me personally, that I was jealous because I'm not on it. I'm not jealous that I'm not on. It's just, let's be honest.
Okay, so that's what he said. And he's just saying, look, I love you, but you can't play guitar for squat. And she took offense. Here's what she was talking about when she said he skipped out on Vietnam. In 1967, he told the story. He told the story in the early 70s that in 1967, he was going to be drafted to go to Vietnam. So he started letting his hygiene go to crap. And he urinated and defecated in his pants numerous times to play the crazy card to try to get out of going to Vietnam. But in 2006, he said, I made all that up at the time in order just to get
a good story.
Just to get a story. And he said, yes, I didn't go to Vietnam, but I got a student deferment. That's why. And there's, we don't know if he did or not. Seems like I've asked you a put up or shut up question about that, about him.
About Ted.
Trying to, soiling his own pants in order to get out of the draft. He doesn't seem like the type of guy who would do that. To me, I think.
That would what?
That would crap his pants to get out of war. Am I right on that?
No.
No, exactly.
No, you're not right.
I'm not right on that?
No, he would definitely not have gone. Not in Vietnam.
Oh, he was very against. He would be against.
Yeah, he was a firebrand hippie back then.
Oh, he was.
Oh, yeah.
But now he's very, very like pro-America anyway,
Yes.
right? So has he?
Because he's not in any danger.
Because he doesn't have it. Well, I guess it's a lot
There's no
easier.
draft.
It's a lot easier to be pro-America.
He's not 20.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that about him. I thought he was rare to go.
He's like Charlie. To me, I kind of equate their political arcs with Charlie Daniels, who was, very, very anti-establishment when he
Really?
came. Oh, yeah.
And then changed because
They were long-haired hippies.
Yeah.
And were always long-haired hippies.
That's funny because I only know of them as being very
more current conservative type.
Yeah, I do. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. And you do make a good point. It's a lot easier when you're not the one that's
you're acid in the jackpot.
dragged over there. Yeah, that's a very good point.
And, to Ted's point, too, about Joan.
I was going to ask you about what do you think of her guitar player?
She's a great star. I like Joan. I like a lot of her music. But when I think of her, I don't think of her as a guitarist. I don't think she was lead guitarist in the Runaways.
Is that right?
I don't think she was lead guitarist in the Blackhearts. I think someone else took lead. She was, it's a rhythm guitar thing.
Yeah. So
which is fine.
Well, you'd probably have to see the list, but you may agree with what Nugent is saying, that she doesn't belong on the list.
Yeah. Ted, if you're taking lead guitarist, I'd put Ted on the list.
Yeah, and he's not. He's not on the list. Yeah, that's right. In fact, I think he mentioned several more that were not on the list. Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad, you've interviewed. Ricky Medlock from Blackfoot. You've met.
Seen him.
You've seen him.
Caught one of his band's his drummer's drumsticks.
Right. That's right. Rick Emmett from Triumph. You've dined with them. He says they
have all their albums.
He says all three of them need to be on there way before Joan Jett.
Yeah, they're great guitar heroes.
So he may be making a good point there. I'm thinking maybe that could be our next Put Up or Shut Up series. Don't look at this list, and I'll get like the top 20.
It sounds like it's been out for a while. I've never even seen it.
Earlier this year, Rolling Stone put it out, and they've been feuding about it ever since, to the point where Ted took a crap in his pants and said, I'm not going to talk.
I'm not going to revisit the crap in my pants just because of Joan Jett.
That's right.
I was embellishing.
He said that never happened.
Yes. Look, we've all embellished.
Yeah. Gets some people in trouble. It does, people on the news, you tell a story like that, and then years later,
cost you your job.
Comes back to haunt you and cost you a job.
Ask Brian Williams.
Brian Williams, it cost him a job. That's right. One more piece of celebrity news here today. It seems like every single celebrity, they do two things. I know you'll agree with this. Write a children's book, which you hate.
I hate.
Or come out with their own brand of tequila. And Kevin Hart is the latest to have.
Kevin Hart.
He's got his own brand of tequila.
I didn't just put my name on this. This is real for me. I love tequila. Love it. So much that I had to make my own. But love will only take you so far. You want great, you go out and get great. In this case, 11 generations worth of great. This is Gran Coromino Tequila Cristalino.
That's his commercial.
Corvino Cristalino.
That's his commercial for the new tequila from Kevin Hart.
I'd give it a try.
Translation. I stuck my name on this. I'm going to sell it for $1 billion in 2 years.
A Mexican family is very happy.